The crystalline spires of Nexus Station towered above Sarah Chen as she made her way through the crowded diplomatic quarter. Alien species of all shapes and sizes rushed past, barely sparing a glance for the small human female in her simple gray diplomatic uniform, just how she preferred it. 20 years as Earth's top intelligence operative had taught her that being underestimated was her greatest asset. The Vorax with their towering frames and iridescent scales, the ethereal Lyrans with their telepathic abilities, the machine-integrated Mech Collective. They all dismissed humans as primitive newcomers to the galactic stage. Sarah kept her posture slightly hunched, her steps measured and uncertain, as she navigated the station's winding corridors. Her body language screamed harmless bureaucrat, while her enhanced cybernetic eyes recorded everything. The subtle exchange of data crystals between a Vorax trade minister and a hooded figure, the encrypted transmissions being broadcast from what was supposed to be a defunct communication hub, the unusual movement patterns of security drones near the station's power core. Something was brewing on Nexus Station, and after 3 months of playing the role of junior diplomatic aide, Sarah was finally beginning to see the pieces coming together. She rounded a corner and nearly collided with Ambassador Kvex, the Vorax representative's massive scaled form blocking the entire corridor. His entourage of guards bristled, hands moving to weapons. "Apologies, most honored ambassador." Sarah bowed deeply, letting a tremor enter her voice. This humble human begs forgiveness for her clumsiness. Kvex's vertical pupils narrowed as he looked down at her. "Ah, the Earth creature, still scurrying about with your meaningless diplomatic missives." His guards chuckled, a harsh clicking sound. "Yes, ambassador. Just delivering reports on Earth's request to expand our trade routes." Sarah clutched her datapad closer, playing up her nervousness. "Trade routes." Kvex's mouth twisted in what passed for a Vorax smile. "You humans think so small. Always focused on your petty commerce while the true powers of the galaxy move pieces into place." Sarah's cybernetic eyes caught the slight tensing in his neck scales, a Vorax tell for satisfaction, usually preceding violence. She kept her own face carefully blank. "We know our place, ambassador," she murmured, stepping aside with another bow. Kvex laughed, the sound like grinding metal. "Yes, you do. And soon enough, every species in the galaxy will be reminded of humanity's proper place." He swept past her, guards falling in behind him. Sarah maintained her submissive posture until they turned the corner, then straightened slightly. Her cybernetic eyes automatically uploaded the recorded interaction to her secure neural storage. Kvex's words confirmed her suspicions. The Vorax were planning something big, something that threatened Earth. She continued her route through the diplomatic quarter, mind racing behind her carefully crafted mask of mediocrity. The data crystal exchange she'd witnessed earlier had been with a known arms dealer. The encrypted transmissions matched patterns used by Vorax military command, and the drone movements suggested someone was mapping the station's critical systems. If she was right, the Vorax were planning to use Nexus Station itself as a weapon, possibly against Earth. But she needed proof before she could alert Earth's defense forces. One wrong move would give away humanity's hidden capabilities and spark an interstellar war they weren't ready for. Sarah entered her small office, reviewing the day's intelligence. Her cybernetic systems began correlating data points, building a web of connections. The Vorax weren't working alone. Members of the Mech Collective had been seen in restricted areas. Lyran diplomats were suddenly blocking Earth's petitions for expanded defense rights. A knock at her door interrupted her analysis. "Come in," she called, quickly switching her display to mundane trade reports. A junior Lyran diplomat floated in, their translucent form rippling with barely contained excitement. "Administrator Chen, the Council has called an emergency session. All species representatives are required to attend." Sarah's enhanced senses caught the undercurrent of smug satisfaction in the Lyran's telepathic aura. This was it. Whatever the Vorax were planning, it was happening soon. "Thank you," she said, letting worry creep into her voice. "I'll inform Earth's ambassador immediately." The Lyran departed, leaving Sarah alone with her thoughts. She had hours at most to uncover the full scope of the plot and find a way to stop it. Her hand brushed the hidden compartment in her uniform where a quantum encoder lay concealed, her direct line to Earth's defense command. They thought humans were weak, primitive, defenseless. They had no idea that Earth's diplomatic staff included some of the most sophisticated cyborg operatives in known space, or that every seeming concession, every appearance of human frailty, was part of a careful strategy. Sarah Chen smiled slightly as she gathered her datapad and headed for the council chambers. It was time to show the galaxy that they had underestimated humanity for the last time. The council chambers buzzed with tension as representatives from 30 galactic species filled the tiered seats. Sarah sat in Earth's modest delegation box, positioned in the lowest ring, a calculated insult that now gave her the perfect vantage point to observe every reaction above. Ambassador Kvex took the central podium, his scales gleaming under the chamber's harsh lights. Esteemed colleagues, we gather today to address a grave threat to galactic security. Sarah's cybernetic eyes tracked minute changes in the room's atmosphere, the slight stiffening of Mech collective units, the rippling auras of Lyran diplomats, the encrypted data streams flowing between certain delegations. Our surveillance networks have detected weapons development within Earth's solar system, Kvex announced. Primitive as they are, the humans have begun experimenting with forbidden technologies. Gasps and murmurs filled the chamber. Sarah kept her expression carefully shocked and afraid, while her neural processors analyzed every detail. The Vorax have fabricated evidence, impressive work, but she detected subtle inconsistencies in the data streams they were broadcasting to other delegations. We'd propose immediate containment measures, Kvex continued. A blockade of Earth's system, followed by targeted strikes against their military installations. Sarah caught the microscopic nod between Kvex and the Mech Collective's prime unit. The pieces clicked into place. The Vorax would provide political cover while the Mech's automated forces carry out the actual attack. The weapons smuggling she detected wasn't for use against the station. It was to plant evidence on Earth after the strike. The human delegation will of course be detained for questioning, Kvex added, his guards moving to surround Earth's box. For everyone's safety. Sarah had seconds to act. Her hand brushed the quantum encoder as she stood, projecting perfect terror. Please, there must be some mistake. Earth has followed all treaties. The chamber's lights went out. In the moment of confusion, Sarah's cybernetics switched to combat protocols. Her enhanced muscles launched her over the guardrail as emergency lighting flickered on. By then, she was already halfway to the maintenance access hatch she'd mapped weeks ago. Stop her, Kvex roared, but Sarah had planned for this. Her neural processors interfaced with the station's systems through carefully placed backdoors, scrambling security protocols. Guard drones crashed into each other as she slipped into the maintenance tunnel. She ran through darkness, her cybernetic eyes painting the path in perfect clarity. The quantum encoder activated, connecting to Earth's defense network through subspace channels the aliens thought impossible for human technology. Operation Cassandra is blown, she subvocalized. Vorax Mech Coalition planning immediate strike, requesting Protocol Zero authorization. The response came instantly. Granted. All assets deployed. Good hunting, Guardian. Sarah smiled grimly as she reached a junction. Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden fleet was powering up, ships with technology that would shock their alien adversaries. But first, she had to survive long enough to expose the plot to the neutral species on the Council. Her cybernetics detected pursuit. Mech drones adapting to her electronic countermeasures, Vorax combat teams spreading through the maintenance level. She needed to reach the station's secure data core, where she'd stored her evidence. A drone rounded the corner ahead, weapons charging. Sarah's combat systems calculated trajectories in microseconds. She launched herself off the wall, cybernetic muscles propelling her over the drone's targeting sweep. Her enhanced hand crushed its central processor as she landed. More were coming. The entire station was locking down. But Sarah Chen had spent months preparing for this moment, mapping every route, analyzing every security system. They thought humans were primitive, relying on brute force and simple machines. Time to show them how wrong they were. Sarah burst into the data core chamber, her cybernetic systems immediately connecting with the quantum storage arrays. Behind her, security bulkheads slammed shut, buying precious seconds against her pursuers. "Attention all species," her voice echoed through the station's emergency broadcast system. "The Vorax evidence is fabricated. Accessing proof now." Her neural processors interfaced with the core, streaming recorded conversations, intercepted transmissions, and surveillance footage to every display on Nexus Station. Kvex's secret meetings with arms dealers, mech units planting false evidence, the entire conspiracy exposed. The bulkheads exploded inward. Kvex himself stormed through, his massive frame augmented with combat gear. "Enough games, human. Your species' time in the galaxy ends today." "You still don't understand," Sarah said, her cybernetics shifting to full combat mode. "We've been playing a longer game than you realized." Throughout the station, hidden human agents activated. The diplomatic assistants, maintenance workers, and trade representatives that every species had ignored revealed themselves as elite cyborg operatives. Kvex lunged, claws extended. Sarah's enhanced reflexes let her dive aside, rolling under his strike. Her cybernetic arm transformed, revealing an embedded plasma weapon. "Last chance to surrender, Ambassador. Die, primitive." He charged again, but Sarah had mapped every centimeter of this room. She vaulted over a data column, her shot catching Kvex in his unprotected side. He roared in pain and fury. Station security feeds showed chaos erupting throughout Nexus. The Mech Collective's drones found themselves hacked and reprogrammed. Lyran telepaths discovered their abilities blocked by human neural countermeasures. Species that had dismissed humanity as weak watched in shock as Earth's hidden operatives took control. Kvex's guards breached the chamber from multiple entrances. Sarah's combat systems calculated odds. She was outgunned, but that had never stopped her before. Her quantum encoder broadcast one final message to Earth. Evidence secured. Execute Phase 2. The station shuddered as massive ships emerged from hyperspace. Earth's secret fleet, technology far beyond what they'd shown the galaxy. The vessels took up defensive positions around Nexus Station. "You infiltrated everything," Kvex growled, clutching his wounded side. "How?" "You're just humans." Sarah's cybernetic eyes glowed as she faced down the alien warriors. "That's exactly why we succeeded. You were so convinced of our weakness, you never saw our strength." The battle for Nexus Station had begun, and humanity was finally revealing its true capabilities to the galaxy. But Sarah knew this was just the beginning. The real war was about to start. Her combat systems engaged, time seeming to slow as she prepared to face the dozen armed warriors surrounding her. They thought they had her trapped. They were wrong. They were about to learn why humanity had survived countless extinction-level events on Earth, why they had clawed their way to the stars. Sarah Chen smiled as her cybernetics reached full power. Sometimes the best way to prevent a war was to win it before it began. Earth's warships hung in the void around Nexus Station, their advanced weapons trained on approaching Vorax and Mech Collective vessels. Inside, Sarah fought her way through waves of security forces, her cybernetics giving her an edge that shocked her alien opponents. Station security compromised. The AI announced, "Unknown human cyber weapons detected in primary systems." Sarah reached the central control hub, where other human operatives had gathered. Their civilian disguises were gone, revealing combat-ready cyborg enhancements. "Status report," she ordered. 30% of the station is secure," Agent Lai reported, his optical implants scanning tactical displays. "Earth's fleet is keeping hostile forces at bay, but more are incoming." The doors burst open as a squad of Mech Collective units attacked. Sarah's team moved with inhuman speed, their hidden weapons deploying. The machines fell before they could adapt to the humans' advanced tech. Through the station's windows, Sarah watched massive Vorax dreadnoughts emerge from hyperspace. They had underestimated humanity's capabilities, but they still held overwhelming force. Victory would require something more than just superior technology. "New plan," she announced. "We're going to show them why humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy." Her team looked at her, waiting. They had all been chosen for this operation because they embody humanity's greatest strength, adaptability. "Begin Protocol Omega," Sarah commanded. "Let's remind the galaxy why every human child knows the story of the Trojan horse." The station's lights flickered as her plan unfolded. Sometimes the best way to win wasn't through force. It was through cunning that no artificial intelligence could match, through determination that no alien species could comprehend. The real battle for humanity's place in the galaxy was about to begin, and Sarah Chen intended to prove once and for all that underestimating humans was the greatest mistake any species could make. "Protocol Omega is ready," Agent Lai confirmed as Sarah's team finished their preparations. She had spent months studying every species on Nexus Station, learning their weaknesses, their prejudices, and most importantly, their fears. The station's quantum communications array activated, broadcasting on all frequencies. Sarah's enhanced voice echoed through every ship in the growing fleet surrounding them. "Attention all forces. This is your final warning." Kvex's voice crackled back. "Your primitive threats mean nothing. Surrender now." Sarah smiled. "You still think this is about military power? Look at your sensor readings." Throughout the Vorax fleet, alarms began blaring. Their advanced scanning systems detected massive energy signatures appearing throughout human space. Thousands of ships, weapons platforms, and defense systems that had been perfectly cloaked until now. But that wasn't Sarah's true plan. "We've already won," she broadcast. "Check your secure networks. Every encrypted database, every military secret, every hidden weakness. We have them all." Inside the Vorax command ships, chaos erupted as they discovered their most classified systems had been compromised. The human cyber warfare capabilities they had dismissed as primitive had already infiltrated everything. "Impossible," Kvex roared. "You built your empires on technology," Sarah replied. "We built ours on adaptation. Every time you pushed us down, we got stronger. Every time you underestimated us, we learned. Evolution made us survivors." The Mech collective units suddenly froze, their networked consciousness detecting fatal vulnerabilities in their core programming. The Lyrans reeled as their telepathic networks were flooded with human thoughts, centuries of warfare, survival, and relentless determination. "We're not here to fight you," Sarah continued. "We're here to join you, but as equals, not servants. The evidence of your conspiracy has already been transmitted to every neutral species in the galaxy. You can attack us and start a war you might win, or..." She paused, letting the implications sink in. "Or you can acknowledge humanity as a full member of the galactic community. Your choice." Long moments passed as the alien fleets held position. Finally, Kvex's voice returned, heavy with resignation. "The Vorax withdraw their objections to human expansion." One by one, the other hostile species stood down. Sarah's gambit had worked. Humanity had proven its strength not through destruction, but through strategy and intelligence. Hours later, as the crisis crews cleaned up the station and diplomatic channels buzzed with new treaty negotiations, Sarah stood at a viewport watching Earth's hidden fleet decloak. They had revealed only a fraction of their true capabilities, keeping humanity's most advanced technologies still secret. "Was it worth it?" Agent Lai asked, joining her. "Showing our hand like this?" Sarah's cybernetic eyes tracked the departing alien ships. "Sometimes the best way to keep the peace is to show that you're strong enough to win the war, but wise enough not to start it." She turned away from the viewport. There would be more challenges ahead as humanity took its place among the stars. But they had proven what she had always known. Underestimating humans was a mistake no one would make again. Earth had earned its seat at the galactic table not through brute force, but through the qualities that had always defined their species: adaptability, ingenuity, and the determination to survive against any odds. As Sarah Chen filed her final report to Earth Command, she allowed herself a small smile. The galaxy was about to discover just how interesting humanity could be as allies rather than enemies.